Hey everyone, this is Dor. It has been a while since I've uploaded videos in this newly created channel. I'm coming back with the aim to continue providing education about classical chart patterns trading, sharing my views on the markets along with personal positions, and my progress as a trader aiming for consistent profitability. Along with that, this channel is as much for me as it is for you. This channel allows me to reflect on my open positions, on setups that I'm planning on trading. It allows me to come up with new insights and ideas to improve myself as a trader and progress to consistent profitability. You're welcome to read the bio of the channel to get a little bit of picture who I am, my experience as a trader. I believe that I'll post once a week. If I have some spare time, I'll post twice. But the first video will always be revolving around my setups, my watch list, my views on the markets, my open positions. So each Sunday to Monday, maybe sometimes it will be Saturday to Sunday, Monday before US Open, I go through around 5,000 different charts, and I'll show you quickly the watch list that I have. So you have first US, second US, US and Canada, and I have residuals, which are actually some indices, cryptocurrencies which are trade only Bitcoin. It's iShare ETF, some ETFs, US ETFs, and majors and minors of Forex, and a bit of commodities, say futures commodities, which I barely trade. So as I said, I have US and Canada, I have the residuals, I have Japan, and I have Europe. Okay, so I go, as I said, each week through all of these charts. I believe it around, I would say 4,000 to 5,000 charts. And I mainly look for setups from the principles of classical chart patterns. To those of you who might know, I'm a disciple of Peter Brandt and Axel Kibar. These, I think, are one of the best, if not the best, classical chart patterns that provide amazing education about classical chart patterns. They both has great platforms. For Peter Brandt, which is a 60-year trader, 50 to 60 years trading the markets with classical chart patterns. For Axel, I'm quite not sure how long he's trading. I believe it's around 15 to 20 years. Either way, they both have great platforms. You can find them on Twitter and proceed from there if you want to dive deeper into the classical chart patterns, principles and trading, and of course read the two Bibles about the subject, Technical Analysis and Stock Market Profits by Richard W. Schabacker, and along with that, Technical Analysis of Stock Trends by Edwards and McGee. So this is the kind of, I would say, a short to a bit long opening before we dive into the charts. I am focusing on classical chart patterns as I mentioned, and within this field of classical chart patterns, I focus mainly on three. My top priority is rectangles, my second priority is head and shoulders, and the third priority is ascending triangle. or say right angle triangle. These times it will be head and shoulders continuation to the upside, and it will be ascending triangle. And this is because the clear idea that the MSCI all country world index is in a clear uptrend. Okay, we are above the 200-day exponential moving average. We are in a clear uptrend, although we are quite close to the upper boundary of the uptrending channel. As long as we are above the 200-day EMA, I will prefer shorts, unless we have some kind of pretty clear classical chart pattern reversal that indicates we are likely starting a correction toward the downside, and then maybe I will start to assess maybe taking more shorts above longs. Okay, so let's go. I have actually four lists that I distilled the thousands of charts that I go through. The long list, guys, is not necessarily long positions. Okay, it's just a list that contains longer, or say higher number of stocks, of financial instruments to watch. Okay, so I go through the thousands of charts, I distill them to the long list. From the long list, I take out those that are not so good. Okay, and I leave those that has around week plus to mature. Okay, the ones that are likely to mature within a week, I move to the short list. The short list contains, as I mentioned, trades that are likely to mature in the coming week, and these are trades that also look better in regards to my criteria to setups. From the short list, I distill and take the setups that are likely to mature in the coming days, and I move them to the active list. Once again, to those of you that are familiar with Peter Brandt, this is a concept that I took from him. Another concept that I took from Axel is the idea of following the ACWI ETF as an indication or a benchmark for assessing the general trend of the market. In our videos, to keep them, I would say, concise, so in the range of 20 to 30 minutes, I'll go through the short list, the active list, and the open positions. Okay, so let's start. HON. We can see head and shoulders 69 bars. If any of you read the books that I mentioned, you can say that this is called a complex reversal. A complex reversal is actually a head and shoulders that contains two shoulders, several shoulders and a head, or single shoulders and several heads. Okay, in this case we have head, shoulder, shoulder. You can argue if this one is shoulder or not, but still we have three shoulders and not only two, as comes with the simple head and shoulders. This pattern is quite a big pattern. It's called it is defined the mega pattern, another concept that I took from Peter Brandt. Putting simply, a mega pattern is just a pattern that that is longer in duration. Okay, so we have 69 bars. I'm usually looking for patterns between 8 to, I would say, 30 and a bit. Okay, so we have a mega pattern and we have a launching pattern, a rectangular launching pattern. We have the first reversal, second, third, and fourth. Okay, we have three touches of the upper boundary, and we still not yet reach to the breakout. So the breakout will be the fourth, which is good. It is a 15-16 bar, 16 week in duration rectangle. I want price to close 3% above the pattern boundary. The 3% idea is also taken from the book of technical analysis of stock trends by Edwards and McGee. So this is our first setup, or say stock under watch in the short list. The X, another rectangle in a decent uptrend above 200-day EMA. Still another and several touches of the rectangle upper boundary. We have the first, we have the second, excuse me, we have the third, and the fourth. The fourth reversal is now happening. For those of you wondering whether these are considered touches, I look at touches in the idea of around 2% to 3%, not less than 2 to 3% from the pattern boundary. We can see and can tell that are pretty close to the boundary. These were moves that intended to try and break out of the upper boundary. Therefore, it's quite clear to tell they are attempts to break out. This, for example, isn't. This one is also a question. Okay, it's a matter of experience at the end of the day. MRK, it's an ascending triangle, also in a quite clear, after a quite clear strong leg upwards. You can say that we are in a long-term uptrend. So we have a leg up, some consolidation, another leg up, some consolidation, to say correction, and then another leg up. Overall, we are uptrending. Once again here, I want to see price closing at or above the 3% mark. Okay. NBIX, another beautiful rectangle. So we had an uptrend here, we had a correction here, and we then regained the uptrend, closed above the major swing high. Actually a decent rectangle. Price action is a bit, I would say, choppy or not so clean. But we do have several touches of the upper boundary, and I need to assess price action once it reaches the area of the entry point, because as some of you with more experience in trading and reading charts can tell that the price action is not that clean. Okay, so that's about NBIX. KTOS. Okay, so usually, guys, I would want to enter a position on the fourth touch the pattern boundary, whether it be a rectangle, head and shoulders, or ascending triangle. Okay, so in this case you have only two. The third will be the breakout, which looks like a breakout. But as we can tell, trading is not a science. It's a part science, or say part art, part a science in a sense. And this is where we, as discretionary traders, put in some common sense and say, okay, we had a pretty strong move to the upside, down from the 200-day EMA. The stock is overall in an uptrend. It's holding decently above the 200-day EMA. We have a very strong momentum move to the upside. If we close above this with a strong price action, it might be a possible setup to enter. NMRK. Okay, so we just came out of a downtrend. Okay, pretty strong weekly candle here, followed by a strong move to the upside. Now we are consolidating a bit, probably some kind of accumulation. At the end of the day, all classical chart patterns, so all consolidations, in a matter of fact, are a sort of whether consolidation or distribution, depends if you're looking long or short. Once again, a decent rectangle. Guys, excuse me if I'm not mentioning the specific bar number of each setup. Just take into consideration that it probably will be between 8, I would say more probably 10 to 30 bars. So another rectangle. This is interesting. Okay, I'll note something in this sense. Most of the time, as a trader, I've gained experience in pure price action and classical chart patterns. By pure price action, I mean that I'm looking mainly on price, not using indicators, not using volume, not using market profile, footprint charts, order flow, or anything of that sort. Okay, and I'll put some of my knowledge in price action, so we can see two interesting things. We have the lower boundary and we have the upper boundary. We can see that from the lower boundary, the reactions are pretty strong. Okay, whether it be this one, whether it be this one. And we can see on the other side, from the upper boundary, the reactions are pretty weak, which means that the sellers are not aggressive enough. The sellers are not strong enough. Okay, the buyers are pushing price strongly to the upside, but the sellers are not strong enough to push price back. Eventually, they manage to do so. Once they manage to do so, boom, once again, buyers are pushing price to the upside in a strong manner. Let's see what happens after this pullback or say correction. It's interesting. JBC. So this is a quite good looking ascending triangle. I'm not sure how to define it, whether it be a continuation or reversal, because we are in a sense in a downtrend. The price action is kind of choppy in this chart, so we have clear down move that takes us to some long consolidation, and then another down move that takes us to another consolidation. The breakout from this consolidation to the upside, holding above the 200-day EMA, we can say that this is a reversal, ascending triangle. Once again, we have several touches of the pattern boundary. The setup looks good, and we need to be patient and wait to see when and if it will close near or above the 3% entry point. Okay, another ascending triangle, which is in this case a very clear reversal ascending triangle, clear down move. Okay, a downtrend. We have an ascending triangle with two, you can say here is the third, and the breakout here will be the fourth. Okay, nothing to add beyond that. Just a simple, I would say, in a sense, playbook, ascending triangle. It has, at the point that I searched and found it, it was already above the 3% entry point. So I said to myself, okay, let's see if it manages to hold. I'll just say, guys, that this week I finished the weekly scroll or the weekly charts research at Monday, an hour before the opening of the US market. Okay, so so it's Monday that we are looking at, and I'll say, okay, if price manages to follow through with a decent strong candle, it might be a good position. Probably I would say theoretically entering at this point and putting a stop beyond the pattern boundary, or this minor low, which is also the last candle within the boundary. Okay, so far the breakout price action also not looks that good, and this pullback might not bring good news with it. So another thing that we'll have to pay attention to. SJ. This is a very good looking rectangle. We have a very strong uptrend. It looks like price needs some rest after this long up move. Let's say that some sellers are getting diluted. Okay, sellers want to book some profits, and this is why we have some kind of consolidation on the other end. Buyers want to accumulate more. Okay, once again we have 1, 2, 3. The fourth, we can say, have already happened. 4 reversals. This is something that I look for in a rectangle. Okay, some people will say that they want 2 points for marking a rectangle. I want to be a bit more sure and not take 1, 2, 3, 4 points, but 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to look at I want to see specific reversal moves. Okay, moving on. VAT. A good looking head and shoulders. We have abbreviated shoulder here, which is the minor low of the right shoulder is higher than the left shoulder. What it means, guys, it means that buyers are getting more aggressive. Okay, at the end of the day, the side of the market that is more aggressive dictates where price will go. Okay, so we are coming off a downtrend. Okay, so we have a major swing high, major swing low, major swing high, major swing low, major swing high, major swing low, and it seems like this head and shoulders is likely to be some kind of a reversal pattern. Okay, we'll have to wait and see. This is a Japanese stock. It seems to be SCSK Corporation. Another good looking rectangle. We are in a clear uptrend. Okay, consolidation, say accumulation. Okay, strong moves from the lower boundary. Okay, we're starting to see weaker moves from the upper boundary, which means the sellers might get weak, or say the gunpowder is getting diluted. They don't have enough sell orders to be aggressive enough and push the buyers back in a strong manner to the lower boundary. We will have also to wait and see. We might be forming some kind of cup and handle here, which is great. Always the idea that a pattern contains another pattern within it adds to the reliability of the pattern, of the breakout. I can also mention that for me. This is the type of things, guys, that I mentioned earlier, the idea that I'm doing these videos as much for me as for you, because this kind of going through the charts in a more detailed manner and kind of passing on knowledge or education about it allows me to learn them better. You know, always the best way to learn is to teach. Another Japanese stock, not gonna go through the name, clear downtrend. Okay, and this is where we start to hug or to be more close to the 200-day EMA. Okay, overall looks good. We can say that the 3% break is a bit too much here. I might use 1.5%, and in these cases, well, the 3% is like way too much. I mean, I'm letting the move run away from me, and it doesn't make any sense. You can go maybe 2%, maybe 1.5%. It can also be maybe 100 ATR if I'm not mistaken, I'm using 30 period, 100 ATR of the 30 period. Okay, so it would be like taking this number and adding the ATR, which is right here, to it. Okay, excuse me. Yep, so yeah, that's about that. DHER, another clear head and shoulders, uptrend consolidation, you can call it as some kind of a rectangle. Okay, massive move to the downside, starting some kind of range here. Okay, down move, and this is the point where we start to interact with the 200-day EMA once again. Okay, enough touches. We're just waiting for price to break to the upside. rectangle, we have down move, consolidation, another down move, correction to the upside, correction to the downside, some kind of choppiness or consolidated price action is being here. Strong up move, price is saying, okay guys, I'm done with this consolidation or direction of moving, which is kind of choppy to the downside, all this price action. And this is where we have this beautiful rectangle. Price is getting pretty close to the to breaking above the pattern boundary, and from then on we'll wait to see it break at or above the 3% entry. Another pattern here, which would be a rectangle reversal, because we can see that we are in a downtrend. Okay, the major lows are getting lower. Okay, here we have some kind of a consolidation, correction, and then consolidation, but then we move down lower. This major low is lower than this major low. Once again, we have enough touches at the upper boundary. Along with that, I think it's the longest time we are holding above the 200 EMA since this part. Okay, we might be coming back to retest the 200 EMA, and then once again try to take the breakout. Once again, patience. Yep, once again, long down move. We had some kind of symmetrical triangle here. Okay, breaking to the downside, some kind of a range, and then we are starting to form a more defined range. 200 EMA is getting flat. We are holding more above it. Not only that, price here is starting to hug the pattern boundary. We can say that we have some kind of small flag, I would say here. It's the more appropriate definition. It's not an ascending triangle. It would be a flag or a pennant. Yep, so that's about that. And our beloved Bitcoin, we shall move on for a moment to look at the chart that is more clear. So yeah, so clear uptrend. Okay, some consolidation here, 3 touches. We had a deviation from the lower boundary. A deviation is a concept that I owe to Trader SZ from Twitter. You can find him. He's a great range trader. So in a sense, if price breaks below the lower boundary and then right up, then comes back in right again, we can say that this is a deviation, and this deviation provides us with the idea or indication that buyers are stronger than sellers, and we can see it with the following price action. Okay, so Bitcoin, we have this rectangle, and we are waiting also for entry. Avgo, another beautiful, it's actually one of the setups that I'm very much looking for. So This is the active list, guys. We finished with the short list. We won't go through the long list. Okay, these are setups that are not so relevant. They have some time to mature. We move to the active list. The ones that are marked in purple, these are the ones that are preferred out of this active list. Okay, so we have Avgo. It's a setup that I'm looking for. It's a very good looking setup. Okay, so we have a clear uptrend with strong momentum moves, enough touches on the upper boundary. Once again, guys, you can see that we have 1, 2, 3. If you want to give a grace, you can say 4. If you want to give a grace to the sellers, you can say 4. But here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be the sixth. Okay, so it's almost 1 to 2 in relation to the strength of the biased sellers. Either way, we'd want price to break to close at or above the entry point. MCHP, another decent setup. Okay, I had okay. Yeah, okay. So once again, guys, we have 1, 2, 3. We actually don't have the 4 reversal here, but we can say, and we can look at it as a range in a sense. And even if we don't, and why I say that we can look at it as a range, because it's very clear. Okay, you can't go wrong about it. Okay, so once again, guys, trading is not a science. It's partly science, partly art, and this is where I led to the more subjective side look at things. So we have a range here, and we have another rectangle that is forming within the bigger rectangle. So this rectangle is a launching pattern to this rectangle. Okay. Yesterday price was close enough to closing at or above at the entry point. I hope that maybe today we'll see the close above. And yep, and we can start with the major target of this rectangle, and then maybe double it, which is almost exactly it is exactly the double, and the double measure target of this rectangle is actually the measure target of the bigger rectangle. Beautiful setup. PFSI, another beautiful uptrend. Okay, tight rectangle, enough touches of the upper boundary. We just need strong price action to close at or above the entry point. Okay, DFIN, another consistent and gradual uptrending stock. Uptrend, okay. Actually, the uptrend is quite long. It's, I would say, coming down from the Corona time. We had some correction here, and then we came back, continued to move up. Although at this area we did not put higher major swing highs. Consistently uptrending, enough touches of the upper boundary. We can actually mark this one as a touch. Okay, and when I mark a touch is when price tried to break out but did not manage to. Okay, so if we had, say, a breakout candle here beyond the pattern upper boundary, I would not mark this one. The marks for me are for the idea of indicating how much the buyers have diluted the power of the sellers. Moving on to LLY. So another clear rectangle, enough touches at the upside of the upper boundary, excuse me. Seems like once again price is kissing 3% entry point and moving back down, and this is, guys, why it is important to have this rule of 3%, because if one would say, okay, I'm entering at this point, it might be moving back into the pattern boundaries. A 3% breakout entry is quite enough room to give price to close above the pattern boundary or beyond the pattern boundary if you're also speaking at the short positions. So beyond the pattern boundary with enough room to make sure that price isn't likely to come back within the pattern. It's okay if it will come back to retest the upper boundary, but we do not want price to come back within the pattern. Okay, BSY, another decent setup in an uptrend. It's also a setup that I found about on Monday. Okay, I thought about the idea of entering it, but I was quite not sure yet because I prefer not to chase, although it was not that much of a chase of the trade. But I said to myself, okay, though there are many more good setups that have not matured yet. You are at the beginning of the week. Give other setups the opportunity before you jump on taking a trade. And I'm being very conscious about the trades that I take for the idea that I'm limiting myself to three to four new trades per week. Okay, I want to average at about 10 to 12 trades per month, and I'm doing that because I want to, in a sense, force myself choose the highest quality setups. So we can see that this is a very good looking setup. There are some that may say, though it's an ascending triangle in a sense, I would accept that. I prefer trading it as a rectangle. Okay, if you would trade it as an ascending triangle, you would need to take a bigger measure target, not much bigger, but a bigger measure target. Either way, I prefer to look at things in the view of rectangles. But saying that, and once again, why it is important for me doing these videos, I'm now paying attention to the idea that I'm actually trading a rectangle, okay, that is launching this ascending triangle. Okay, so this is nice. This adds reliability to the pattern. Okay, and in a sense, I think that if I have noticed that on Monday, I might have entered the position, because I said, okay, I'm not looking only at this price action, I'm looking at not only this price action, I'm looking at this price action. Okay, and yep, this is it. So BSY, interesting. APAM. So once again, clear uptrend. Okay, we have some choppiness here, We have some deeper corrections here, but at the end of the day, we are in an uptrend. Major low, major low, major low, major low, and this is where we'll probably mark the new major low. Yep, several good and decent touches of the upper boundary. We're still waiting for a close at or above the entry point. Okay, so guys, this is actually a setup that I plan on taking, I consider on taking today. Okay, if price will close decently above the entry, it will be probably be an entry for me. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we've got our 4 reversals. And why I like this trade is because we can see a very strong up move. Okay, and this might provide us with the indication that this pattern is going to break according to the type 1 breakout, type 1 or type 2. Once again, guys, this is concept that I took from Axel Kibar. You can go to his Twitter and learn about the idea, or to much better go to his platform and learn about the idea of different types of breakouts. Let's see if we can. No, at this setup we cannot tell that it is an ascending triangle. We also don't have clear resistance here. So another setup that I might take today. KRE. Yep. So we are coming from the down, from a massive down move. Okay. You can say some kind of a channel to the upside. Okay. Channel to the upside in a sense. Okay. But price, I'm actually not quite sure about this setup, because now that I'm seeing price action and the idea that it's coming back within the boundary, we didn't establish good price action above the 200-day EMA. We are hugging it, which is a good indication when we are coming from the lows. We have a quite strong up move, but I would rather price, in a sense, calm down, spend some time in a clear way above the 200-day EMA without breaking below it, and then break out in a strong price action. That would be an ideal scenario for me. Okay, SBSW, continued down trend, head and shoulders, abbreviated shoulder. Once again, this shoulder is a bit higher from the left shoulder. We get the indication that buyers are more aggressive than sellers. We are breaking out of the 200-day EMA. Let's see if we manage to hold below it and close at or above the 3% entry point with strong price action. Okay. Once again, we have a clear downtrend, some consolidation. Maybe it was some kind of an ascending triangle here. Okay. Yep, that failed and broke to the downside. Yeah. Oops. Let's see if maybe we have some kind of no. Okay, I thought maybe we have a symmetrical triangle, considering the idea that it broke to the downside, but no, it's an ascending triangle that failed pretty strongly and badly, and now it seems like we are starting to accumulate and consolidate again. Let's see if we manage to hold above the 200-day MA. The only time that we managed to hold above was this candle in the near future. Okay, so far we have a week above. Let's see how this week will behave. GEBN. Okay, another rectangle coming off you can say some kind of double bottom, but it's not actually a double bottom because the setup have not been completed, but we have some kind of consolidation or major swing lows. The breakout here is very, very, very strong. Okay, we can see the move. Let's see if we get some kind of pullback and then strong break above or at the 3% entry. That would be amazing. I would be more than happy to take a position after a pullback, and if price comes back with strong price action to the entry point. SGRO, and guys, I'm being a bit hard because we are getting to the hour mark. So once again, guys, here we have some kind of, we can say also another range in a sense. Okay, so how to mark the range here. Okay, and price at some point decided that it want to spend more time at the upper half of the range. Okay, this is our upper half. Okay, if you look at it this way, which is good. Okay, the idea that price is spending more time at the upper half of the range means that things are bullish. And once again, guys, this is something that I did not paid attention to, and I'm doing that now, speaking to you, doing this video, which is amazing. And moreover, it adds great reliability to this launching pattern. We have this ascending triangle, which is launching this pretty massive consolidation rectangle. Yeah. Okay, another clear uptrend. Okay, we don't have enough touches here. I'm usually not entering at the third breakout, at the third touch, I mean once again, and guys, sorry for my kind of broken English. I believe that within doing more videos it will get better. So I want breakout to be the fourth touch. Okay, this is what I meant. Nothing much to add about this. OB. Okay, another decent pattern, ascending triangle, very long one. Whether you call it reversal, I'm not quite sure what it's reversing. Actually, the whole price action of the stock have been consolidation or choppy price action for a very, very long time. So it's good to know that price is launching a bigger pattern. Still, I will trade it based on the rectangle measure target, and if price will continue beyond that, that's good. I will continue to manage it with trailing ATR, but I'm not expecting this measured move, guys. This is not what I'm expecting. I think that this move has to bring within it another pattern, another classical chart pattern, or even two. Columbia Sportswear. So also here we have some kind of, I would say, choppiness. All this price action is a consolidation, including the rectangle that I'm looking at, but you can still say that price in a sense seems like it wants to go higher. It did not manage to continue down to this lows area, or this say demand area. It's holding above the 200-day EMA, it's hugging it, so something that we didn't have since this top head and shoulders. Okay, yep, let's see how price is breaking and closing above. We have enough touches, but still we have better setups, because I would rather take a rectangle that is happening or forming within a clear, in a stock that has a clear uptrend. Okay, Booking Holdings, and Booking just completed my last sentence. So we have a clear uptrend, you can't go wrong about it, holding above the 200-day EMA. It's good that we have some consolidation here, because we are closing the gap from the 200-day EMA, and this another great rectangle, great setup that might come up. Guys, I'll go quickly through my open positions, being vulnerable, sharing with you my stops, my targets, my management, everything. So this is the candle that I entered at. We had some oh, excuse me guys, this is the candle that I entered at. Okay, I have the signals here from Interactive Broker, so probably I missed this one, and I actually wasn't in vacation until only at May 14th I came back. So this, I entered this candle, putting the stop below this minor low, and expecting for this this move, which is the ascending triangle measured target. No, it actually isn't. That's interesting why I have set this as my target. Okay guys, I'm quite not sure why is that, but it should be down here. Maybe I was looking for, let's see. Yeah, okay, probably said to myself, interesting if you'll make it to the last major swing high. But no guys, we are aiming for this price point. Okay, AVAH. Okay, so this is another very good looking rectangle which I actually entered yesterday. Okay, so we have an uptrend that is forming. We are coming strongly above the 200-day EMA. We are sweeping these lows. Once again guys, this is where I come a bit with the knowledge from price action. We are sweeping these lows, okay, making an amazing hammer candle bar, strong up move, consolidation, closing the gap with the 200-day EMA. We have decent follow through, okay, amazing breakout bar, and another great follow through, which is something that I very much like to see when I enter trades. This setup actually had not so good risk reward. Okay, and this was supposed to be a 1-to-1. Okay, I usually don't take this kind of trades. I look for at least 2 to 3 reward. So, but I said to myself, and once again, coming with the idea of subjectivity, or the art part, or the discretion part of being a trader, I said to myself, okay, look at this candle. It's almost half of the move from here to here. Okay, it's not specifically half, it's about 30%. Okay, it will be, I'm not quite sure, but I believe that the probabilities are with me to reach at least to this point. And I said, okay, let's see if we can make it a double major target. Once we get here, I say, okay, I'm trailing the position. I'll probably start to trail a position with ATR trailing stop loss pretty soon, or maybe even today, and see how much I can go with it. But I was quite sure that at very much minimum we will reach to this measured price target. Then I said to myself, what the next to him will be this. Will be the double measure target, which actually visits the resistance that might come from this major swing low. Okay, New Zealand dollar to Swiss franc, another very good breakout. This is the candle I entered. This is the candle, excuse me, that I entered at. So it's a rectangle that is combined with an ascending triangle. This is the measured move, which is based on the rectangle. Once again, 3 touches, break on the 4th. Very good pattern. Stop loss, initial stop loss have been here, have advanced to this, to below the low of this thrust candle. And guys, you probably have noticed that I like to give credit to people that I learn from, and this concept of thrust candle at the breakout is a concept that I took from Tom Dante. I don't know if he invented the concept, but he gave this concept definition for me, and this is where I learned about this concept in a more in depth, I would say. So thank you, Tom, and thank you actually Peter and Axel for the knowledge and the education. So yep, we're probably coming for some kind of a pullback, and maybe I wouldn't want price to come all the way down to test the pattern boundary, because it would be, I think, a too aggressive pullback, which indicates of weakness, which is an indication of weakness. But let's see. Still managing. Stop loss so far is here. Might be advanced today, depending on price action. Australian dollar to Canadian dollar, ascending triangle, which is in a sense a combination with cup and handle. Price action so far is not doing anything bad, but it's not doing anything good. And I manage trades with a very aggressive risk management. Okay, I want to push to advance stop loss as quickly and as tight as I can. Okay, I prefer to protect my capital first and foremost before I consider making any gains. Okay, and I believe that in later videos this will make sense when I will get deeper into the type of breakouts that I trade and I look for. These are usually breakouts that pretty strongly, as we've seen with them with AVAH, pretty strongly are moving to the upside, not hesitating. I don't like this hesitation price action. Okay, So let's see how price behaves. If you are closing with say a bearish a candle, okay, at the pattern boundary, I will adjust my stop loss to the low of this thrust candle, and will accept the probability of being stopped out of the position. Guys, this is it for today. It actually took much more time than I planned. I said 20 to 30 minutes. I believe maybe that the idea of making the long introduction or opening at the beginning made the video a bit longer. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and the idea that I managed to find some patterns and some insights about setups that are in my watch list worth it all. The idea that I once again looked at the charts, repeated the principles that stand behind the setups that I take, the way that I approach the markets. All of this is amazing for me, and I hope that it also provided with some knowledge and insights to you guys for your own trading journey. One last thing, beyond the chart videos, I will from time to time upload videos that are more speaking about the journal, about the journey and the progress as a trader, the emotional management, the evolution that I went through as a trader, what I would suggest freshly new traders to do. I can say beginners, that because I'm trading for 3 years, but I think that I'm moving from, I would say, beginner to intermediate at this point. Not experienced yet and not seasoned trader yet. We have some time for that. But any case, this is it for today, guys, and I hope you have a good trading week.